I just realized I actually need the stuff open if I want to do a tutorial. Hello guys, my name's iHills. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how I do my renders in Cinema4D. So this is going to include extruding and posing and finally rendering. I'm going to do a separate tutorial in the near future which will cover the Photoshop, and another one after that which will do all-in-one banner, profile picture, you know, the whole shebang. So I've just gone along and found this just generic skin that looks, you know, decent to work with, so we're going to be using that. Yeah, let's just say we're making this for Micro here. So we're making this for Micro. So first of all, if you've never done rendering before, or if you've used a program such as Blender to do it, then you're gonna have to install this program called Cinema4D. And just gonna warn you, if you're gonna get it legit, it's pretty expensive. Or you could you know, do the normal way that everyone does, and yeah. Once you've downloaded Cinema4D, you're going to want to download a few rigs. Now, rigs are stuff that actually goes into the program, which you can move around and position and extrude and stuff like that. The rig I use for the character is Flash's customizable Minecraft rig. It was a paid rig and it was official on the Flash selfie page, but I checked and he has removed this because he quit graphics, which is pretty unfortunate. But this guy does have it here and you can get it free now, so link to this will be in the description. I also highly suggest getting the Ultimate Paradox pack for swords. It's what I use and gets, you know, some really good like results. This is also a free rig. You're also going to want to get a Lightroom. Now the Lightroom I suggest is Monday's Lightroom V2, although this does cost money, but if you use a different Lightroom, you know, it'll be fine. So once you've imported your rig into Cinema4D along with the Lightroom, you're going to be a little bit confused if this is your first time doing it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to head over to layers here, and you see this padlock, or if there's multiple padlocks, you just want to click all of them to unlock everything. So, and what that does is just makes it so you can move the arms around. Just realised I actually need to download the skin. Once you've done that, you can just go back to attributes. You won't need that again. So the reason why your rig is all black currently is because you need to import your skin. So to do that, you just click on the rig in the top right, and you can just scroll down through all the settings here, and this skin selector, you want type together and together here, and you just select these three dots, find where you save the skin and import it. Now you can see this does look a little bit strange at the moment, but I'm gonna fix that now. The bends I'm just gonna keep smooth. I don't mess around with this. But the subdivisions here, I like to turn all of the subdivisions off apart from the head and the head extra. The reasons for this is because I don't really like working with subdivisions. You know, I don't like the curved edges because it's Minecraft. And then the angle type you want to put manual. Now we go to the face here. You can mess around with these settings, but I'm not gonna do that today. Maybe in a later tutorial. So I don't use these personally. I think they're a bit messy. So I just go ahead and disable all of them. And now we're going to get into extruding. Now this is a little bit complicated, so you're going to have to bear with me. With the rig in the top left, you see there's this little plus button here. You want to click it, go into mesh, head underscore extrude, and you see these two bits that say extrude head and extrude hat. You want to change these 4 red circles to grey by clicking them once, and voila, your second layer has magically appeared. So you want to click on your extrude head and you just want to move it out of the way. Same with the hat, but the other direction. So you want to rotate around and zoom in to the head. If you don't know how to do that, I suggest watching a different tutorial on how to move around. Once you've got the head selected, to start extruding you want to click this button here that says polygons. And now you are greeted with the beautiful 16 by 16 pixels. So for the head, what I like to do is I like to just extrude all the hair, but I need to first get rid of everything else. You need to select the pixels that you want to delete, and there's a lot of different ways of doing this. I use live selection, but you can just click and drag the ones you want to select. You can also just click it pixel by pixel, or you can do UL on your keyboard to get up loop selection, but make sure if you've selected 2 pixels and you want to select another 2, you hold shift before you click, then click. And if you want to remove some, you hold control and then click. So I'm gonna go ahead and select everything that is not the hair, so the skin and the eyes, and everything that you just don't want sticking out. And once you've done that, make sure you haven't missed any. Press backspace on your keyboard to delete them. Hit Control A. Press D on your keyboard to bring up the extrude menu. Make sure the maximum angle is at 91, and I've set the offset here to 5. You want to go back to your model, and then you just want to move it back to the original head layer. Now you could do this just by moving it across and trying to match it up. There's a lot more efficient way to do that. Well, you see the position here, when you've got it selected, you want to change the X value to 0 and then press apply, and that will put it where it originally is meant to be. Now time for the hat layer. So there's actually a hood and hair for this one, so we are gonna have to do them separately. First I'm going to select all the hair, then after I've selected all those pixels, I'm gonna press UI on my keyboard to invert my selection, and then I'm just gonna press backspace. And that's deleted all the transparent pixels, and the reason we've done this is because there's this weird glitch with Cinema4D. I don't know why it happens, but with transparent pixels it kind of makes this like white outline. So I'm just going to select the hood, and I'm going to extrude this by 3, and then I'm going to select all the hair, and then extrude this by 5. And then if it looks a bit weird, then you can, like here for example, you can extrude that as well. If you're going to extrude a second layer, I would extrude it by 3, and you can always extrude it the third one as well. And then you just want to move it back to 0. And as you can see, it looks a bit weird because it doesn't quite fit because of the hair. You want to select it, press T on your keyboard to get the scale tool. Hold shift on your keyboard and just drag out and just scale it up. Make sure that it fits. As you can see, that that's the head extruded, so you can just close that now. So what I like to do for this to make it a bit easier is I just like to drag the arms out a little bit, so it's easier to see. It does look a little bit weird like this, but whatever. So I'm gonna extrude the body now, so I just go into body, go into mesh body and select the actual mesh here. So I really wouldn't worry about this top layer here. You don't really need to extrude anything on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extrude these like straps here and the Nike tick, just like that, and I'm going to actually extrude it by 2. The body on skins is usually quite simple. Now I'm going to do both arms at the same time. So you open both arms to their mesh, you press one, and you shift click the other to select them both, and then you go back into polygon. So these arms are actually incredibly simple. I'm just going to go into my loop selection by pressing UL, and I'm just going to select the where the cuffs would be, and I'm going to extrude them by 2. That's pretty much the arms done for this skin, so I'm just going to move the arms back to their original position. Again, I'm going to select both legs at the same time. For this type of shoe, there's a way I do it, and it's the same for all types of shoes that are similar to this. So first off, you select the whole shoe, and especially with this rig, when you've turned subdivisions off, there's going to be this small kind of glitch thing, but you need to select that as well. Yeah, once you've selected the whole shoe, but not the underneath, I would extrude that by 2, and then I'll select only the bottom and the little white shoelaces and extrude them by 3. What you're going to find is if you move these back, it's going to be a a little bit difficult to grab a hold of them again. So you can always just scale them up, same way you did with the head. And there we go, that is the character fully extruded, so we can just close the mesh and the whole rig now. So I'm going to do a very basic position. So positioning is one of the most important but hardest things to learn. It's all about just having the eye for it. You know, you want positions that are complex but simple, that look cool but also are like realistic, like an actual person would be able to do it. Which is why a great way, if you're struggling for ideas, is to open a new tab in Google, just type in action poses, go to images, and just find one that you think works. Yeah, if you're struggling for pose ideas, there's tons on the internet. I'm gonna link you to this really good website, which I sometimes use if I want reference for different poses and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna have him looking up, holding a sword. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move his hand first. Something like that would be good. Have him bending over slightly. Have one leg bent up, as if he like really is like reaching. I'm gonna have him like looking over at something down, like there, holding a sword, covering his leg here. It's just all about thinking what you want to do. Now this is where I'm actually going to use the Ultimate Paradox pack. I like using the original version, because you know it's quite good. It's quite a good sword. I'm gonna use the iron one for this. You know, it can bend, and I'm actually gonna extrude it. It doesn't come extruded, which I think is good because, you know, it adds a bit of customization. So I'm gonna teach you how I extrude my sword. I grab the the actual blade, the inside of the blade, and I extrude that by 2. Then I get the hilt here and the like end of the handle on both sides. And once I've selected all of that, I also select like the diagonal path of what I've just extruded on the blade, and I extrude all of this by 1. Yeah, once you've extruded it, you can move it across to the hand to rotate it so it fits. A common mistake I find people making with their sword positioning is that it's inside the hand, like up here. You want to make it so, you know, it's more realistic. It's not inside their hand, it's kind of like they're holding it like in the handle, if you know what I mean. If when you find your posing, you find a camera angle which you actually like and wouldn't mind using, for example, I found this, you can just press this camera icon, and then when you move camera, it will, like, you have a camera here showing you what's in frame and it will stay there. But yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the angles by using these grey boxes, which you can't actually move, but you can rotate, and what they'll do is kind of just bend the shoe. Press this box thing here and that will take you back into your camera. Now you see by this grey box that says perspective, there's these 2 grey lines. You want to make sure that your render is inside those 2 lines, because what's outside of them won't render in the image. So now what you're going to want to do is just render it. You go into your render settings, which is this button here. I press the render settings, which you may or may not have imported. Then you click the save option. PNG and alpha channel need to be on. Press the three dots here next to file, and you can choose where you want to save it. I'm going to save it where I save all my renders. Then once you've done that, you can just press this middle button or Shift and R to render to picture viewer. You will have this asset error, and that is because we did together and not separate for the skin settings, so you can just press OK on that, and then you can watch it render. And once you're done, you should have this fantastic render, or something similar to this. You know, the Lightroom has worked with the camera, and the light is actually coming in from this side, which is what I wanted. It's pointing up to the light. Yeah, overall this is not a bad render. I'm very happy with this. Anyway, that's all I'm going to be teaching you for this tutorial. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. If you want to see more tutorials on specific things to do with Minecraft graphics, please leave a comment and I will help best I can. Feel free to add me on Discord. There will be my Discord on screen right now. I do free graphics, so if you want any, just contact me and I'll let you know if I can do it for you. But yeah, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.